Hi, and welcome to Better Than Chocolate. It's a place where we are all delicious.
Nice.
I thought so. Change it up today. I'm going to introduce you to my chocolate couch, my lovely girls. They are. I have Debbie, I have Flora, and I have Christina joining me on the sofa today. So girls, what interesting things have you derived from all the lessons thus far?
Yeah.
No, but my mind is opening because before this, I never really thought of toys with partners, like toys as opposed to partners. But you're all like talking so mainstream about like toys with, and that's new. That's new. Like I just thought they were a substitute, but they're actually a third party. So yeah,
Yes.
so my brain's going, oh.
Good.
We can have our cake and eat it too.
And not make it.
And not make it.
Beautiful.
All the precautionary things, yes.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to talk mostly about couple stuff. Go get your partners. You're going to want them to see this show. Today's lineup includes sex through the ages. We're going to talk about how sex changes, maybe for both sides, as we age. We are going to talk about life changes. That could be everything from when you're 12 and you get your first period to menopause in your later years. We're going to talk about dating, internet dating, online dating.
Craigslist? No.
Craigslist, sure. They're all there. What's changed over the years since we were all dating? Today we have a couple sex toys. And one that is an award winner just came off the presses from Europe. It's a great toy. I can't stop talking about it. It's fabulous. And of course, our ever popular, we've got mail. We keep getting it, keep sending it. So stick around. We will talk to you in a few minutes. Hi, and welcome back. Okay, girls, we're going to talk about sex through the ages. So what do you think? Has it changed since the time you first had sex to now?
So when you're saying through the ages, you're not talking historical.
Not exactly.
You're talking through your personal ages.
Well, there's always the, in caveman days, the old club and drag and...
Well, if you believe that. But yeah.
So what's changed?
Who
have you been dating?
Really?
I'm going to see your black look, my God.
Exactly.
Such a lie. No, but essentially that's not far from it though. But it can go either way.
Honey, there are alternatives to that.
Okay. I don't have to.
Yeah. You're talking about you hurting with the club.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about them hitting you with the club.
The club is a metaphor. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But has it changed? Like, since the first time you had sex to now,
Well, heck yeah.
has your sex life changed, and how so?
Wish to dish. Come on, tell me. What am I in for?
It gets better, hon.
Really?
It does.
Okay.
Because when you first start, you really don't know what works and what doesn't work.
Okay.
And certainly, when I was a younger woman or child in my home, there wasn't anyone who would be encouraging me to explore, right?
Yeah,
You know what
but
I'm
we didn't
saying?
get the starter kit, that's for
We
sure.
did not get the starter kit. And so you learn, and then of course you have some like physical changes.
What would those be?
Well, actually, I don't know how common this is, but after I had children, I actually found it easier to achieve orgasm.
Really?
Really. A beautiful gift from my children. by
Dave,
the
you
way.
found that as well?
Not easier to achieve orgasm, but it definitely is different. Like through each of the decades that I've progressed through in my sexuality, I guess they call it growing for a reason, because you grow, you embrace new things, you try different things, instead of just laying there and saying, was I supposed to move? So it's the evolution of learning and processing and finding out who you are and what feels good for you, and then transmitting that, to your partner, and just all the life changes. Like the breasts aren't up here anymore; they're down by my navel, and so that you know,
Get this out of the
to
way,
feel
honey.
secure,
Yeah.
you know, to feel secure about yourself, you have to evolve with your body as well as your mind. So you embrace everything because it's just different. It's better, it's different, it's sometimes it's even more flavorful. And I don't mean tastefully, but I do mean tastefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
A
it's
little extra, you know, adventure or a little trying something else. Is that what kind of what you're going for
that
there?
too, and you know, plus being married. Who else can you try new things with other than the woman or the man that you trust implicitly with your body? You know, it's a gift from you to them. And if you can bring harmony together and achieve an orgasm, what a better thing is there? You know, it's having a life partner is probably the best thing you can do for your sex life.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I was thinking it sounds like you are really trusting and really like at ease in your skin. Therefore, the evolution of your sexual life will increase and become like more harmonious and better. But so yeah, because I can't imagine being able to evolve over your ages unless you've had like at least at one point like a continual, like a longer relationship where you can.
Right. So what you're saying is like adding love into the mix, falling in love, and really loving your partner makes everything that much better.
Well, and not only is that important, that partner needs to be really interested in your well-being and making it about you and not just about him or her and whatever, you know, whatever your persuasion might be.
Getting out of your own head.
Right.
Because, you know, there's a big difference between, you know, being with somebody who's just all about himself getting off, and, you know, maybe that's fun for a while, but being with somebody who's just all about you getting off and off and off and off and off.
Oh, it's just so overwhelming. It's just like, wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
And that's a level of generosity that isn't always,
Really?
not everybody's there.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't.
Look for it, sweetie.
No, I don't.
I would
don't-
recommend it.
I don't. You're totally got me wrong. I've never had a situation where I didn't feel like I was loved or shared love with somebody. So that's probably what's kept me a little bit like behind in experience. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But the partner that like or whatever that what I have had is because it's been out of love, and it's just that there's just so few and far between that you can fall in love with.
That's the truth.
Right? And so, so what I'm saying is with you, you've had love for longer, that way you can grow.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so I just haven't had that.
Right.
Like, so I think that love is trust is love. I don't know.
Right, yeah, just
You can't have sex without love. That would just be the F word.
Oh no,
right?
you can have lust, and that's nice too.
Really? I hear a digital story coming on there. What's going on?
Well, you know, there's the whole
Last
notion of chemistry. You can meet somebody and you are just like,
over the
holy
top.
smokes. And it might happen in the first few times you meet them. You're not in love yet, but
No.
boy, this sex can be awesome.
Okay, I totally can understand that.
So is somewhere where we're going then is it starts out being more about carnal pleasures, shall we say, and it evolves into something that becomes very trusting, very loving, very close. So that's kind
If
of
you're
the
if you're
evolution of your sex
lucky,
life.
you know, if you're lucky,
very lucky, the
that's
exploration. No, I don't think it's if you're lucky. I think that's our God-given right as the counterpart.
well, that's a great
right?
way to think about it because then you won't settle for less, and
No.
lots of people do.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, don't settle. Okay? God, soul, like, give it away. Yeah, don't settle.
Lots
No.
of people do.
Oh, looks like we found a common ground as to where everything ends up. That's great. Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to start talking about some life changes. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, we had so much fun talking about sex through the ages. We're going to kind of continue that a little bit with the life changes because they all kind of go together. So, talking about life changes and your sex life. And life changes can be anything. Whether you've had kids, whether you've changed careers, maybe you've, changed location. All of those are pretty big life changes. My sex life has changed dramatically just because I don't have kids. And I'm at that, late 30s, early 40s range where your body starts to change and it's, it's a little different and you need a little more help with stuff.
Well, I think you bring up a good point, and you and I can probably talk more about this. And I can speak from the perspective of so many of my friends, many of whom are sadly divorced, including myself, but my reasons are not the same as, kids. But quite often, the whole having kids can be so hard. So hard on a marriage, so hard on your sex life, so hard on you. And it's probably one of the biggest stressors that I've ever seen. When I look at all of the friends that I have and the broken marriages and things like that, most of them, with the exception of perhaps the infidelity, but most of them really hit the stress point when the kids arrive.
And definitely, your workload goes up 200-fold, 500-fold.
And your exhaustion level, I mean, you are, well, especially really early on when the baby's really little, your body has been ripped to shreds, and you are not sleeping and haven't slept for a while because when you were pregnant you weren't sleeping. And, if you are not communicating and really in sync with your partner and that partner has issues,
it just multiplies everything.
Yeah. And particularly if you're breastfeeding for a length of time, you have a child that's attached to your body 24 hours a day. So then when your partner comes home and wants to
play with your girls,
get touched out. Don't touch me, don't
you're
look
right.
at me, don't even think the idea, because there'll be a can of soup flying through the air at you. Just leave me alone. I've been touched out today.
Yeah, I remember that whole sensation. I was like, I need some space. I just need some space.
Yeah, because it's glued on. It's like you're like the source of everything.
And that's hard.
And you're on
That makes
high
sense.
anxiety because you're looking after this new person that you love, that you brought. What a gift from the love that you made 9 months previous.
Right.
So now you've got this child and you're tending to the child's needs, and then your own comes second, and then his comes third, and it's just too much when he wants.
So how do you get around that? Yeah, exactly. Like, what would work in this situation?
well, a lot of it, I think, is just really being able to communicate honestly about what's bugging you. I have this really good friend of mine who's got a terrific relationship with his wife, and he talks about, and he was actually honest to fess up to her that he's like, I'm actually jealous of my own baby. I'm jealous. I'm envious of that time.
Yeah.
And it sounds like such a petty thing to bring up, but the reality is, it was an honest feeling, and so he was able to honestly talk to her about it, and they were and so
that doesn't feel like you're pushing and you're not getting what you need because you have this inner, like, you don't want to ask for it, resentment.
Yeah, the whole passive aggressive thing
doesn't work.
And you know what? I've learned it the hard way because I've been there. I have done that.
No, you have to ask for what you need.
And nobody can read your mind.
Well, that too, asking what you need. If your girlfriend has a baby and you say to her, can I help you out? When you go over there helping her out, throw a load of laundry at her.
Absolutely.
Vacuum, do the dishes, do the dusting, do everything that you can for her. She's tending the baby, because when the evening comes, her day will not be as taxed, and she will not feel that way. And what a gift that she can give to her partner.
Well, we're going to leave it there. And when we come back, we're going to talk about dating. Hi, welcome back. Well, now we're going to tackle dating.
So we've gone through all the ages of sex. We've gone through all of the life changes of sex. How about sex and dating? And how about the different versions of dating? What do you have any
mean
opinions
by
on
different
that?
versions?
Well, there's the old classic, I got this really great friend.
Oh, the setup.
Perfect.
The setup.
The setup.
Yeah, or the blind date. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually they're very hard to have blind dates now because everybody's on Facebook.
Yeah, you Google stalking
Yeah.
immediately. What's his name? Google.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the setup, or Craigslist, as you pointed out earlier, or eHarmony, anybody like that.
Yeah.
Or just, and where do you go? Do you meet people at the grocery store still?
Who's got time?
Yeah.
But that's what I think, though. I think that's the difference in this kind of culture, like this Western culture. Is like people go to the grocery store, they put their sweatpants on, they go to the grocery store, they get food, blah, blah, blah.
Pardon me?
Yeah, just the grocery store is like an errand, right?
It is an errand.
You know what I mean? That's what I want to make it sound like. And then, but like in like Europe, let's say, they go to the grocery store, they're dressed, and women are dressed up, and it's an outing. And then it gives opportunity to meet men. So when you run your errands and you treat them like an outing, you can meet men, or women can meet, or men can meet women, vice versa, whatever you're going for, anytime, anywhere, because they go out of their house, they're dressed. But some people, they go to the coffee shop, they're dressed in their sweats. They're not looking to meet somebody. Do you know what I
So they
mean?
don't.
So they don't.
So they're not
So,
open.
yeah. So,
Right. So when, yeah. So
be
when you're
out there.
when you're in that frame of mind where you want to meet somebody, you're going to be presenting yourself differently.
Or,
And
yeah.
it's an interesting topic, at least for me, because I'm relatively recently divorced and had been married for almost 20 years. So there was dating when I was in college, and young, and then there was
Let's get
dating
drunk.
now, and it is not the same.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I've been married forever, it seems now.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing. But I can't imagine going out. And I've thought in my brain, okay, what would happen? Would I join eHarmony? Would I be skulking through all the email creatures that we can find these days on the internet? And it's like, I don't know that I would want to. I think I would rather go with, hey Debbie, there's a really nice guy. I think you guys would make.
Well, and that's often the better way, or one of the better ways is
It's a
somebody,
filtration
process.
Yeah, there is something to be said for go with what you know, or go with who you know.
or somebody, go with a recommendation,
Yeah,
right?
your
So if
friends
you're a
are
good friend.
highly unlikely to hook you up with some axe murderer.
I just think
Right.
it's so scary out there. I don't know how you
It
girls do it.
is scary.
I
It
really
is.
do.
It is scary.
You have to
And you
pay
got
attention, and you have to
Well, there's
get
so
some
many
information.
diseases. Oh my God, they're using, what do they call those, masks for this virus that's going around.
Oh,
Everybody's
yeah.
sick,
The
but yet
flu,
they
that's
don't
my
wear
first subject,
condoms.
yeah.
What the hell's up with
Well,
that?
you know.
People aren't
People are wearing
educating
condoms.
themselves. Well, some are, but people are still getting infected.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And that is out in the dating. My God, when I was a girl, VD, gonorrhea, that was the worst. Oh my God, then came herpes.
Remember,
and now
the
they
best
say,
thing
oh
that
my
happened to
God.
herpes was AIDS.
AIDS,
It's
exactly.
like, oh, herpes ain't so bad. I mean,
Yeah, I can have it.
Oh, well, it's no
nobody
picnic,
wants any of it.
right?
I'm
I'm sure it's no picnic.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like the bar gets higher and higher, and how awful it can be.
Yeah. Do I want to risk my life with you? Do you come with papers?
Yeah, you kind of have to get a blood sample.
I am so scared of dating. I don't ever want him to leave me.
But that,
Well, you got your toolkit you're gonna take home and all your goodies.
He won't leave me tonight.
or yeah, you were saying about the internet and stuff, and I found that that's a big like either a blessing or just the most worst thing for dating in the world, because of the internet and all that, people think they're like in a relationship. They're satisfied like getting to know somebody over the computer, through MSN or something. I know friends of mine who spend like this, like just recently, like, to unbeknownst to me, like spending hours on like this websites like where there's online chats and stuff, and I'm thinking, really? That's what dating is now? And then let's say you do meet somebody, this is what happens. They don't phone you, they text you.
Absolutely true. A friend of mine just recently went through this whole first 5 dates, and their whole first 5 dates was nothing but text messages.
That's not
That's
a
not a
date.
date.
I looked at her and I
That's
said,
not a
have you
date.
lost your flippin' mind?
Yeah.
No, it's
she
not a
has.
date.
Pick up the phone and call it. If he doesn't have time to see you, goodbye.
Or if he doesn't have, like, if he's not
Yeah.
as interested to phone, but he's like a little bit, or if he, it's so weak.
You know,
It's a
that whole
cop-out.
notion.
It's like a social cop out.
He's just not that into you. Believe me, and I have my single friends. We have our whole
I believe you.
our whole issue about meeting men, and some of them, and this happened to me. You'll meet somebody and you sort of hang out a little bit, and then maybe you think you're going to get a phone call. Or, you know what? When they're into you, you're going to know it. And if you have any question, forget about it. If you're going to know if they're into you, because they're going to be calling and they're going to be wanting to see you, and there's going to be attention.
And there might, and like some girls like, oh, I know he likes me, but he's just really busy right now, or he's a little bit insecure or whatever. And I'm thinking, well, you don't want him if he's too insecure to admit that he's into you, or like if anything's impeding the process, just like say to yourself,
Well, I
you don't
agree.
want
I'm
it
with
if it's
you.
not yours. You want
That's right.
you want
That's right.
what's like harmonious and best. So let it go. And a lot of girls have a problem is they won't let it go. So they'll sit there in a fit because the text wasn't responded to, and I'm going. Really, waiting by the phone, and you can see them waiting for the text message, and then it goes, and it's like, it's like, yeah, that's what he's throwing you, a text message crumb, and girls are happy about it these days. It's ridiculous.
It's totally true. And just to go back for a minute to the internet dating, somebody like eHarmony and things like that, just to not totally slag them, but like eHarmony actually does a really good job at setting up couples that are very into the same sort of thing.
I've heard good things
know-
about eHarmony.
I personally know
I have a friend who
3
lives on it.
different people, like 3 friends that have been hooked up through eHarmony, 2 of which are now married. The other one is moving in together. So it actually does work. It's about an hour process, I think, to fill out their form.
it's just
I think that's a platform to start, right? But I'm saying like just the general routines of courting and dating. That's what I was
Yeah.
ranting.
Yeah.
I wasn't
But
ranting.
the hard
I'm sorry
thing, and
for
I'll
it.
say this as, a middle-aged person, the hard thing is just meeting people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Old-fashioned coffee shop.
The other thing is like when all these things started up, they were all single clubs, and they were the losers. The losers couldn't find anybody out there, so you went to a singles club, and then you met another loser. Yet again. And I find it really hard to get past that because that was sort of ingrained in my brain at a young age before I got married, and so it makes it hard for, say, my generation to accept that, whereas the internet, like some of these, you probably always had internet in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
I was black and white TVs.
But I only recently learned how to use it.
yeah.
Really, like I fought every step of the way.
Really.
Yeah, because I just didn't think that if you could make a phone call, why not make it? Like it just seems that we're getting so disconnected from
Yeah.
each other that now we communicate through texts and emails more than we do through the phone. It's like people feel weird, like, oh, I'm voting! And it's like, just pick up the phone. Let's bring it back.
What I'd like to see is a romantic letter written to me, so that when I go out and receive my mail, I open it up, and there's this 5 words.
See, I don't have a problem with
Something. I love
receiving that as an email.
Oh, that would be fine too,
Yeah.
but the old-fashioned, if you want to call it old-fashioned,
Yeah,
delivered by
yeah.
post, I'd love that.
Me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, there's something to be said for,
I just,
using the-
she would just like
using
a
the
email
hands.
of any
Give me an email. Just send anything. Send me a text message. Stop
That's
it.
right.
We'll go grocery shopping.
Okay, you show me how.
Yeah, just smile. I
Oh,
found that
I'm known for how miserable and dour I am in public.
All right.
You're drab.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to talk about couples and toys you can use as a couple. Hi, and welcome back. Well, as promised, we are going to talk about couples toys.
Because there are a few out there that are great. There's lots that aren't. We're not going to talk about those today because why?
Why?
So I'm going to start with this one. This one is actually called the diving dolphin.
Oh, God.
It's okay, Flora.
I know.
This is how your partner, same sex or not, wears it. And if you don't think you can get in there, come on now. That's without really pulling. They can get in there. Now there's a dual remote control. One is for the bottom one is for the bottom. There's a little egg on there for her and him. And the top controls his nose. This is actually hitting up against your clitoris. This is actually hitting you as well as him backwards. And everybody has a little extra fun. And it has different levels of intensity as well.
The only catch is you're going to have to decide ahead of time who controls the remote control. I realize that might be an issue.
Who's the Dom?
I say, who gets it first?
It does have,
Grab it.
like I said, it has different levels. Now there is another version of this that is not the diving dolphin. It's called the Rockin' Rabbit. The difference is the dolphin has the pointy nose. The Rockin' Rabbit has the little flutter pieces, which is a little softer against your clitoris rather than the actual.
Yeah, it was a little pointy.
Yeah.
But it's soft, I
So
bet.
it is very soft. It's all made of silicone.
I tend to favor the design of toys that have animals.
You do.
Yeah, like this is cute. This isn't like a veiny penis.
Which, it's interesting. You mentioned that earlier, how you thought the worm was cute and the penis was scary, and I'm kind of like, no, the worm is scary and the penis is, I can recognize that.
Yeah, see, no. I can recognize it.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure, this is like way beyond me. But it's a dolphin, and it's not, it's okay.
It's intriguing. That's intriguing. And the reality is,
Yeah.
Wear it upside down if you wanted to.
That would be interesting.
And if you if you are a same-sex partner, it can be worn with a dildo. Any of the strap-ons will also hold it. It's not heavy enough to actually, ruin any of that fun either. But I will point out, it is a dolphin. It is not waterproof.
Okay.
It
Despite being a
has
dolphin.
cords. Anything with
yeah,
cords and water don't go together.
Yeah, got it.
So that's like the ultimate COCK ring.
It's a pretty darn good one.
That would be what you were talking about before, but now this is all built in. You're talking about
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Now, what we were talking about before with those rings was that they come with little tiny vibrators. They're about this big.
Oh,
The bullets, the
Tiny
little bullets. Yeah.
okay. Yes, we'll bring bullets in one day.
So what do these cost?
This is going to run you at about $65 to $70 retail. Sometimes you can find them at a home show, at a home party.
Right next to the shutters and the
Yes.
windows. I had this picture.
You can usually find them also through home parties, home toy parties for a pretty good price.
Home show.
But yeah, one of the proven toys that came along in the evolution of toys.
And I'm going to talk about this one because I'm just in love with this one.
Her eyes just glazed.
Yeah, that was serious stuff here. Okay.
What's his name?
This one is called the Wii Vibe, and it's happens to be a Canadian invention. It won a major award in 2008. It is the toy of the year according to Sex with Sue Johansson.
Oh, Sue Johansson, yeah.
Yeah, she gave it the toy of the year. It's designed by an engineer. The on-off button, in case you're looking for it, because it's very hard to see, is the little nose. You push it one way, it has low. And go the other way, it has high. Now here's what makes it a really cool toy. Girls, you wear this while you're having sex.
Are you having an issue with this?
It's been tried, it works. Yeah, well, an engineer did do it, so yeah. It matches you perfectly.
It's my accessory.
Oh, right. That's fantastic.
I wear it wherever I go.
The other nice thing
funny.
about this toy is that you can use it solo.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
I mean-
that. Yeah.
I wrote it out because it's a couple's toy, but it is
Wow.
just as effective solo.
That's amazing. That's great.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
He's-
it's not veiny, so I'm not like scared or anything. But yeah. So there is ribs here.
Mhm.
So that is for your inside wall or for his pleasure. Like, how does that work there?
Well, that's facing
sits
you.
against you, so that's sitting up against your G spot is
So
extra.
he's just feeling the vibrating, right?
He's just getting the vibration.
Oh, he's getting this. Okay.
Yeah.
It's on the top.
I get it.
That's great.
Another
And these
nice-
run? Sorry, I mean, how much are these?
in the stores, you're going to probably pay between $120 to $140 for one. They are worth every penny, in my opinion. The other nice thing is they are rechargeable. They come with a recharger.
Oh.
They come with this absolutely fabulous kit
Looks like your sunglasses.
that you can throw in your bag and take with you anywhere.
Doesn't require any batteries, so you're helping out the environment. You know, a nice quick charge. It's all good.
That's a good
Hey,
selling
I'm
point.
always happier after a quick charge.
Nice. Wow.
So sex without that, now what does that make it? Do you know what I mean? Like, can we have
This
sex
is
now?
just added fun.
Okay, but
just
with or
added
without,
fun.
still the same. Like, you're not gonna. Yeah.
It's like
It
drinking
doesn't
coffee and putting
replace
sugar in it.
anything. It just
Okay.
adds to the original.
I can't have coffee without sugar now.
Well, there
though.
you
Okay.
go.
So when we come back, we are going to talk about it's not all about the sex. There are other things to consider too. And welcome back. Well, now we're going to talk about all the things that aren't necessarily all about sex.
And by that, it could be a hug. It could be flowers. We're talking for the romance girls. So what's out there? What kinds of things do you like?
Oh my God.
Which
Which volume should we start with? I mean,
I personally, sometimes I just need a good hug.
Well, I agree with that. And, there's also the whole notion that, sexuality is just a part of who we are. We're whole people. So you would like a whole relationship unless you're just looking to,
Have one off.
have one off. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but if you're actually looking for a whole relationship, that means being able to have a conversation, being able to communicate about things, your concerns, your fears, your whatever, and not be judged too harshly for it, at least not be judged at all, but
Yes.
if you are going to be judged, not too harshly, and just actually really be able to relate to the other person. And if you can relate to the other person, it's funny how the sex part really works better.
Oh, it comes in.
Yeah, for
very
sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
So now what specific things can our partners do
Listen, 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 listen.
And then listen.
And then listen.
Well, but
Exactly.
we have to say what we want though, because I remember at one
You're
point
right.
I was just devastated, like you know how the world likes to fall on you. You're like and I was like, God, I just need someone just be like, I got you, girl, you know, and put our, you know, just like that support. And my friend goes, I got you, girl, and I was like, oh, thank you, thank you. And
Right,
he's
so you
a
have to be
great
able to
friend.
ask for what you want.
Yeah, yep. And so that would be not the not sex part of a relationship, the feeling of camaraderie.
And the communication, just being
Yeah.
and feeling free to communicate that.
Like
so
you're,
safe
like you're
or
worth
safe
it to them.
Right.
To
And it's
say what you need.
right, and it's safe to say or ask for something, or to bring up an element in conversation that might not be the happiest conversation.
And just accept it.
Yeah.
And that's what it
And
is.
the other person needs to be willing to hear from you.
Yeah.
You know, it's good.
The compliments are good too.
Compliments are huge.
Like if they want to have a good night, like drop little compliments all day, you know?
Yeah.
Oh God, you look so good.
Exactly.
You know, things like that. Like let us know what you're thinking. So you know.
So now if we actually do the, you know, write a little scribble love note, throw it in their, you know, briefcase off, never think about it again until, you know, we get this phone call or, you know, email going, hey, what was it? I got your note. Do we expect that in return?
It's
That they would
nice
write
to,
a note, you mean?
or that they would acknowledge
The
your effort.
gesture.
You would, that they would acknowledge your gesture.
Acknowledge the effort and reciprocate.
Well, you know, at least acknowledge it. I would like to at least feel acknowledged for my efforts.
Quite often I do that to my husband and my son. When I make the lunches, I'll put I heart you. My son gets teased mercilessly. Oh, mama. But my husband, he just kind of comes home and he's like, thanks.
See, that's it. That's
It just needs
perfect.
to be received. Like, I think
Yeah,
that not
acknowledged.
acknowledged, not
Yeah.
like received. Like if you give, it should be given freely, not expecting anything in return. Because there's no point in giving, or else it's just pickrel. It goes sour from there. If you give with expecting something, but if you give freely, and just, as long as it lands, you give something,
yeah.
you want to see it land, like it's received.
Yeah.
And so that's that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think probably the nice warm fuzzy, the spooning position, and just a little bit of a kiss here before you drop off to sleep. I like that.
Oh,
Right here for me.
Yeah.
Come on, right there.
Yeah.
Where do you want it?
It's just cozy and
Now,
chic.
how about something like coming home and finding out that your dishes have been done? And
Oh my God.
Oh my
that's such a
God.
good way.
Your dishes have been done.
It's an
Not
instant
dishes?
blowjob.
Anything you want. Anything you want. You've done the dishes, honey. You deserve it.
I'd like probably make a pact if I had a partner. Like I'll do this for you every day if
Yeah, there you
the
go.
garage is clean every day. I'm not saying.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the body. It just has to do with the acknowledgement of the other person and doing something to take something out of their way.
Well, and it just anything that makes you feel special to that other person. So
You know, and just because they told you 3 months ago that they love you or whatever, you got to keep that going. It's always important to know that and hear that and be acknowledged.
And to say it yourself. You
Yeah,
have to tell
and
them
you gotta
that.
be able to.
Yeah,
that's
it's gotta be two ways.
that's you're so absolutely like you. If you want to get more, receive more, you give more. And don't think that you're depleting your giving this because you can give freely, and all you'll get like from anything is more, right?
I'm really into colognes, and when my husband shaves and puts on a cologne, it's like I'm a drooling idiot. I will follow him anywhere, and I'm bad when I'm out on holidays. If somebody smells, goes, what have you got on? It's just terrible. But I do it, and it's fine because I bring the cologne home to him.
there you go.
Very nice.
Very nice.
I buy my.
And he chooses to wear it because he knows how important, how much you enjoy it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So we're on Hugo Boss right now.
Oh, that's a very nice fragrance. Very nice.
And when we come back, we've got mail. You sent us email again. We're going to read some more. And welcome back. Well, as promised, we've got mail. And again, M-A-I-L. So,
We have a few questions. Are you ready to answer?
Well, we'll try.
Okay.
the first one is, my sexual relationship with my husband is non-existent.
Oh.
What can I use to try to get him back and relive the romance?
Well, I would like to know more information about that question, just because, how long has it been? I mean, what do you mean by
Does
totally
this require a
non-existent?
doctor's office visit?
Well, I mean, does it require counseling? I mean, are we in serious trouble, or are we just sort of going through a dry patch?
If you're just, if you're just going through a bit of a dry patch, but what kind of things maybe can you do to pull them back in?
Maybe to take the pressure off. If it's you that's the driving force on the sexual activity at this time in your relationship, if he's pulled back, then maybe sit back and watch and see what it is that he's needing in his life to fulfill it, so that he can help you fulfill yours with him.
The other element of that would be just trying to understand why. Is there something particularly stressful going on at work? Is the person sick? Is something, what else is going on in life that might be creating that?
So no need
reduction.
to
Whip down to the adult video store and the toy store and come home and go, guess what, honey?
well, I mean,
I don't know, you might try that at one, like in the early stages, trying to figure out what it is, why isn't there something happening, and so, okay, maybe I'll throw in a blue movie. But if there's nothing coming out of that, then you have to figure out what's going on with him in your own way without being intrusive.
Right.
And, maybe just walking past and holding his hand for a second and then going. In our family, we have this thing that if we go 1, 2, 3, that means I love you. That's the 3 words. I love you.
That's
And
great.
so I'll walk past my son or my husband and give him 3 squeezes and I'm gone. There's nothing attached. There's no strings.
Yes.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
That's no strings. She's like, how do I reel my husband in? Once you're in that frame of mind where you feel like you need to reel something in, you're not in a good space. Take care of yourself first. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I like that.
Yeah, that's much better.
so our next question, it has to do with toys. The next question is, how do toys get their design?
don't worry, I'm the expert, girls. For sure.
I think
They go to the toy store?
they're probably casting off of live models.
That's right. Most toys are based on somebody real. So when you see a toy in a store, somebody out there somewhere looks just like that or a very reasonably close facsimile.
Yeah, they can embellish
Well, okay,
it a
so
bit.
I get that, and I can see that with some of those toys that they're pretty realistic looking, but why would they do colors like blue, turquoise, or...
It's actually more of a marketing tool than it is for real reasons. Now, there are some real reasons to have toys that are skin colored. As soon as you start getting a lot of oils on them, and no matter how many times you wash them, eventually they're going to pick up that color and you can't clean them, and they're no longer appealing toys because they look dirty.
Whereas the blues, the pinks, they tend to be colors women gravitate to in a package. Now, you're not necessarily looking at what you're buying, you're looking at the color.
So it's like just catch your eye kind of thing.
Yeah, and usually bright, vibrant colors, jewel tones are very sought after. Like you'll pick up a burgundy, dildo right off the shelf just because it was burgundy and it looked pretty.
Who thought of that?
All right, so we have one more, and it's a doozy. Are you ready?
Am I?
Okay. My partner has always wanted to have a threesome.
Oh boy.
Being raised in a lesbian home, I have issues with this. Is there anything I can do or say to become more comfortable with this issue?
So
Why doesn't there be 2 males
they're
instead of 2
looking-
females?
well, yeah, what's the configuration of a threesome, do you think, in this situation?
I'm not entirely sure.
So is this from a woman?
Yes.
So let's assume that the partner is male. And I'm going to guess that there's no way on earth he wants another man in there. He wants a woman in there. The second one.
I'd say that was a pretty good guess. We don't have to be that careful, right? Of course. He's like, if he wants another man, then sure, give him another man and go. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm
Well,
not sorry.
that's all we have time for mail right now. We're going to take a really quick break and come back and wrap it up. Hi, and welcome back. Well, we covered some big ground today. We talked about sex through the ages. We talked about life changes and how that affects your sex life. We talked about dating. And we also talked about sex toys for couples. We introduced the Wee Vibe to you, as well as the diving dolphin. And of course, we talked about it's not all about the sex. There's some other stuff we like too. And our email winner this week was Wendy from Saskatoon. Congratulations, Wendy. You're going to have a great time with all your toys. For any more information, go to our website, betterthanchocolateonline.com, and we will see you again next week.